Hey guys, I'm Tim.
I'm Bob.
I'm Spencer.
I'm Daniel.
And this is a board game rundown. Today we are covering Grandpa Beck's Cover Your Kingdom. So this is a hilarious, fantastical adaptation of a previous game of theirs, Cover Your Assets. They do change a couple things where you've now got like two places, like a Highlands and a Lowlands, where you are placing your critters or your assets, right? So in this one, you are recruiting clans to come and live in your kingdom. And by doing that, you just play a pair of these lovely critters, like a Pigsea or a Cyclops, you know, or what, Yogi Yeti.
This is fantastic.
The Peg Legacies.
Yeah.
That is great.
I love that not only does each card have its own flavor text, and I mean each individual card, but the pictures change too.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is
they're
great.
so
Yeah, the
different.
pictures change in
That's-
little ways.
look at
That's the
different-
largest saving grace I think of this game for me
So
is the
the legs-
funny.
Yeah, the legs on that
and
one.
the flavor text are different
Even
on all of those.
even the pigs, the pigseas that look
Oh
mostly
yeah,
the
the
same,
squeeze.
they're actually
all-
the squeeze are different and the legs are in different positions. Every
Oh,
card
they
is
are.
unique,
Yeah.
They are. The Leprechaun man is selling different things,
including this game.
Yes.
including the game, which is hilarious. So, anyways, in this game, yeah, we're basically these clans are worth. They have a point value. You can play cards on other people's stacks to try to steal it. They can defend with their own cards. That means the stack gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. We had a stack literally get up to a 300 point value. It was this thick. It was so thick. And then Bob played a card to remove it from the game.
Yeah.
Which-
Everybody was fighting over it.
Right.
So
Oh, that's why.
that's why. Well, after I lost the fight for it, I just got rid of it.
you know what? If I can't have it, no one can.
Exactly. I'll take my ball and go home.
So, unlike Cover Your Assets, this one also has a variation where you can have asymmetrical player powers, which we did use. There is the constellation prizes. We didn't use these. Yeah, that's what it says in the book. So we didn't use these tokens, so I'm not going to speak too much on them other than that they're here and it gives you a variant that you can play with. So yes, we played with the variable player powers, and I have played Cover Your Kingdom before. It's been a little while. I played a lot of Cover Your Assets. So, I mean, and this is very similar. If you've got the idea of Cover Your Assets, you basically...
there's
basic
slightly
concept.
more to this one.
Yeah, this is a little more. There's a little more to it, like you said, because there's like these independent creatures, which will give you different fun powers and
yeah.
things you can do, and it's got nice player aids.
Oh yeah, it's got everyone picks like a player board faction, and they're all like, so mine's Griddle Mirth.
Yes.
You know what that is?
It's not Middle Earth.
It's definitely not.
Mine is Smogdor.
Scam-a-lot.
Scam-a-lot because
Yeah.
that's him.
Yeah, also true.
And yours was Dog Snorts.
Dog snorts.
Dog Snorts,
Yeah.
which was definitely not Hogwarts.
Definitely not.
So,
but
yeah.
adjacent.
which is
I
funny
think
though
it's
because they
next
could
door.
have just done Hogwarts,
Yeah.
right?
Maybe.
No,
it's-
maybe that's
on a
too
pig.
close.
It's too
Oh,
close.
it definitely is.
Pigwarts.
There you go.
Pigwarts.
Yarnia.
But anyway, yeah. I've played Cover Your Assets a few times.
Sure.
I've only ever played Cover Your Assets at 2 though. So
Oh,
this
okay.
was quite a
Oh,
bigger
it gets
game.
yeah. I played like 5 and 6 players, and it gets crazy. So first off, this game is super swingy.
Oh yeah.
You have to be
Very
okay with
oh
that.
my gosh.
Yes.
Yes.
You absolutely have to be okay with that. It plays fast. It's chaotic because of how swingy it can be. You basically play through the whole deck, and then until you can't play any more cards.
Yep.
And somebody's gonna lose by a lot because usually by the end.
A lot.
It's all just stealing off of other people, especially like the defenseless people.
Yeah.
Right.
Just to clarify, the point swing of our game this time was, I believe, 30 to 485.
Yeah.
That was last place
was
to
the
first
spread.
place.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's super swingy, and if you get far behind, I can see why you feel like, why am I even still playing? Right?
Yeah,
Don't
and-
stand a
Well,
chance.
the thing is he was in it until the last round.
No,
To the
yeah,
end.
sure.
Correct.
He was out of it, and then that's again the swinginess. He was out of it. He was then back in it.
Way
And it was
in
like
it.
he might be winning, and then completely out of it again. Right.
Yeah, and at the end, when you only have so many cards, this
There's
deck
literally
is
nothing you can
gone.
do.
All I can do is steal, and he has nothing to defend with.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I kind of think maybe we should cut it off before that point.
Right. Like just win the deck out.
Yeah.
I would say if that's how you want to play, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
But just playing it as the rules intend,
Yes.
right? But this is so Grandpa Beck's. I love this company. I mean, it is a family-run company. They make games that they like. You know, most of the time they're all card games. This is probably the meanest of their games. But I am a big fan of Scheming and Skull King, which I think now they just call Skull King, right? Is it on the other side? Yeah, Skull King. Bears and Bees, right? Grandpa Beck's. Golf is really good. Now it's called. It used to be golf. Now it's gnoming around. They reskinned golf. There's Antiquity Quest, which I don't think I've played yet, and then like Nuts About Mutts. I mean, they got a ton of games, and they're all relatively cheap. His phone number is on the box. So if you have questions about the rules, you can call him or text him and ask. I met him at Gen Con like very briefly, like, oh, hey, there's Grandpa Beck. Went over and like shook his hand, kind of met him, but like that's it.
Right.
You know, like, hey, I love your games, thank you. But
Close
yes,
friend.
yeah. But they make. I love their games for the most part. This is definitely the meanest one. This is definitely not for everyone. But I always have a good time playing with it because I don't mind the chaos and the swingy nature of it. So if you have a problem with that, trigger warning, right? So anyways, components are really good. I mean, this is decent card stock. Oh, so here's the other side for the tokens.
Oh,
Yeah, I
that's
saw that. I
for-
flipped mine over a second ago, and I was
Right.
like, oh, there it is.
We're not going to get into like all the nitty gritty of the rules or anything. It's pretty straightforward. It's got player aids on the back of the asymmetrical powers. I absolutely love that they give you player aids.
Yes.
And they really pretty much explain everything really well, right? There's a few things you might need to look up in the book, but not that difficult. And again, the last half of the book really is just variations on like how to play.
And there's a frequently asked questions on the back, and
So
Pretty good.
anyways, component-wise, the card quality is really good. You get this fun little crown you get to wear.
I mean, we already mentioned the fact that the artwork isn't just the same on every card is crazy. Attention to detail.
I
Like,
absolutely
that's
love
awesome.
that. That is
Yeah, me
wild.
too.
That
Half the
is-
time during the downtime, I'm just looking at the cards.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Well,
wild.
that's why your turns.
That was one of my favorite parts about the game. It's
Yeah.
just the,
Yeah.
the punniness is funny.
Yeah, each
And
one
the
of
art
the
is
factions
funny.
has
The
its own.
funniness is also punny.
Yeah.
It is.
Ooh,
Yeah.
the factions all have their own little flavor text.
Yep.
Also gives you a clue as to what they're
They're
referencing,
referencing.
just in
Yes.
case you didn't get
Yes.
it.
Right.
But anyways, so we are all gonna rate this game. Dan, how's that work?
We rate it
Yes.
from 1 to 10 so that you can get each of our completely subjective opinions. And then we will average them together so that you get one rating on stuff like BGG and Facebook and Discord. Total
like that.
brain fart.
Yeah, yeah.
Anywhere
Like,
that
where's he going
All
now?
those places.
Anywhere, that we would want to share a rating. There's no point in sharing 4 ratings, so we'll share one average.
Well, so Bob, I know you're not like the biggest fan of this game,
Correct.
so I'll let you go first.
Sure.
We'll just get it all out of the way.
Yeah,
rip the
yeah,
Band-Aid off.
Get it out of the way.
I'm not a big fan of the cover your assets. I've only played it a couple times, but it's this was okay. Like I said, the redeeming qualities. I love puns. The artwork is hilarious. One of my big problems is between the 5 and the 10 and the 15-point cards, there's no difference between them, and so that's kind of unfortunate. As far as
sure.
they don't have any
Yeah.
abilities or anything
Yeah.
like that, so stealing someone's stack of 15 is a ton of points in a large swing.
I guess
And-
there's fewer 15s than there are 5s, right?
Is that what it is?
I believe
we
so.
haven't added them
Probably.
up, so I guess
Sure.
I couldn't tell you. But I can't give it too bad of a score because there was the instance where Tim thought he was clever and put this huge stack of cards.
A
at the very
300-point stack of
300 point
cards.
stack of cards on the bottom. And on my turn, I was able to put that back on top and remove it from the game because we were fighting over that stack the whole time, and
We
that
were.
was funny.
We
That was
had a
great.
stand-up
High-
moment.
yeah, high
stood up and I
five,
was like,
yeah.
what? And I had to read the card.
It happened to
that was-
me,
yeah.
and I was excited that it happened.
And I had, if it got to my turn, I was gonna
He was
steal
about to
use
take
the
it back
same thing.
again. Yeah. But no, but for me, like I said, the swinginess of it, as far as once you're out of cards and there's really nothing you can do, and you just basically sit there while everybody just takes all of your stuff, and I do not care for that, not being able to defend. So I'm gonna come down on a 6 on this one because I think
Yeah,
it's
no, I get it. I
yeah.
get it.
It's totally in
So
fine
of the
score.
5 value cards, there's 13 of each.
Okay.
The 10 value, there's 10 of each, and the 15 value, there's 9 of each.
Okay. So
Slight
there's
spread.
a slight spread with that, but still.
And there's 5 Spydras, which count as doubles, and then 10
Really, because you put like 8
Sir
Spydras
Russell
throughout that game.
Terriers. Listen, you don't have to count them.
I'm
Trust
pretty
'em.
sure they were like coming out of his sleeve.
Yeah.
Whoop, there's another one.
Yeah.
You didn't see the other open box
he's
of
not down
Cover
here.
Your
He's not-
Kingdoms
Wait a
down
minute,
here.
we have 2 copies.
Like I said, we didn't play with the other like expansions, so that might help with some of that. We don't know.
Sure,
But
sure,
yeah.
sure. I get it. I mean, yeah, I understand why your problems with it. It's just like
Right,
we.
because not very much strategy I could really impose, to implement.
Oh,
to
see, I
stop
had
that from
strategy.
Is that why you lost too?
Yeah, I didn't say it was good strategy.
Hey, don't worry. He beat you by like 15
Yeah,
points.
30 points, like
High
45 or 50
five.
points, and then like they both have like hundreds.
Oh
of
yeah, well
points.
they got the big stacks at the end.
Yeah.
and-
So, anyways,
yeah, no, I get it. Spencer,
Ah, you're gonna come to me next.
you should be ready. Low score team.
Yeah.
It's the definition of when you walk up to someone, you're like, I've been looking everywhere for you. I knew you'd be here. It's like, well, hold on.
One of those two things can't be true.
Why did you look everywhere?
Yeah.
It's always the last place
place
you
you
look.
That's right, because why would you keep looking after you found him?
Yeah.
Oh, anyway, I did enjoy the game. Yes, it was very swingy. I think that if I was playing this with my kids, it might be a little bit too mean.
Well, because you can't contain
Dial it back.
yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
You do not have the dial to tone it down.
I can do
I
it
say that with
my
love.
daughter.
Yeah.
You're like, do you see
But-
what I just did there, honey? I beat your butt.
This is why we don't spank in my house, because I will just destroy you at cards.
That's right.
I'm stuck between 2 ratings. I'm going to give it a 7.5.
Okay.
Yeah, there's going to be an 8, 7.5. It's a 7.75, I guess.
Sure.
But
Sure.
we're going to go with 7.5.
Okay.
Daniel.
It's funny because, like Bob totally rightfully said, it's a swingy take that game, basically, which is the opposite of what I like. But there's just something about Cover Your Assets when I played it, and this one that there's just this lightheartedness to it to me, that to where it's like a like a sorry, it's like that kind of take that, and it's just so lighthearted and fun. I just had a good time. It's funny when you're like, no, don't take my pigs. I've been building those up, and he takes my pigs. You're like, no, and then someone immediately takes from him, and you're like, nah. Like, it's just dumb fun, and I had a good time overall. I mean, it's not like it's the best game ever, but I enjoyed it quite a bit. I'm also gonna come down on a 7.5.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like it's gonna make it to my top 10 games of all time. It's not a
No,
9
no.
out of 10.
But I'd play it.
And while you're right, I think it's pushing an 8 because it's so enjoyable. I'm gonna fall on a 7.5. It is a fun card game that, man, like family game night. I think this is gonna do wonders as long as you keep the mood right.
You
keep
gotta-
people laughing.
yes.
Keep people
Yeah.
lighthearted
'Cause-
again.
yeah.
Don't be like,
Don't let a stack get to 300 some points.
yeah. I have never
certain
seen
people
that
you don't
happen
wanna play this
that early. I swear it was like the 4th turn, and we were like, is the game
Well,
over?
then the stack got bigger because everybody kept trying to steal it. But,
Right.
but it quickly jumped up to like 100 points.
And we were defending it
With
with all
Spydras.
the big things.
Yeah,
Yes.
40-point
You
cards.
guys
just a
did that back
5-point
and forth.
card.
In one round, you guys probably spent 100 points on that card.
Easily.
And I was just
Yeah.
like,
Easy.
you guys are fools.
I was wondering because I was trying and I was like, but I wanted to. I was trying to get it, then get it buried, and I
yeah.
couldn't keep it long enough to get
I
it
was
buried.
literally, you guys were doing that, and I was just watching victory slip from my fingers. The more you're doing it, I was like, I'm never getting my hands on that.
Yeah. So 7.5. So for me, I like Cover Your Assets. It's probably my least favorite of the Grandpa Beck's games, but this one is just more fun. More the art. The art, the flavor text on all the cards. I really want to see what this variation does.
It's a way more interesting theme, too.
Sure. I mean, I like the single use, or there's like 2 of each of these like free creatures is what they call them, where they give you like a power where you can take cards from other people, you can manipulate the stacks. I like that you've got 2 areas to play your creatures, your highlands and your lowlands, and then sometimes your creatures that are any land can like shift, from one or the
Did we
other.
ever have that happen?
I didn't.
I think Jeff did it one time.
Jeff added to a pig, I think.
Yeah,
right?
and the pig
It was
moved
pretty
over.
rare. Yeah.
So I mean, it can happen. Just because it didn't in our game doesn't mean anything. But anyways, I like even that's a possibility, and it's a valid strategy, right? Because if you could get the pigsy and then get them to move over
Right,
to
you get
cover
something-
stuff,
Exactly.
yeah.
right? You've got ways to cover stuff, and so it just does a lot of things I like. I really appreciate the player aids, the production value of it. So this doesn't like automatically skyrocket to my favorite Grandpa Beck's game, which is Skull King. mostly because I grew up playing spades, and spades is similar to euchre. Skull King is similar to all three, and I just love trick-taking games, right? So that's
Something else.
tangent, something else. And it's probably my favorite one. But this went from probably a 7.5 with like cover your assets, right? Is where I probably would have been for that. This is like an 8.5 between the art and like the fun and the stand-up moments, right? Where we're like, oh, I mean, just games like this, especially games like this. It's like when you've got good experiences and stories. We're gonna be telling stories about that 300-point stack and how Bob callously murdered
it too. Hey, put it back on top. Not removed from the game.
Yeah. I thought you were just going to steal it. And I'm like, okay, so how can I get it back? Oh, wait, it's gone.
Took it out back and shivved it.
And it literally, I mean, it was a 300-point swing, right? But I don't care. I was having a good time playing, and some people will not be cool with that. I get it.
I want to point out something really quick about the theme. You said you are trying to get these things to
live in your kingdom.
Yeah, I'm trying to get these little clans of critters to come and live in Spell.
I just think that's hilarious because that means that what that means is you have a giant population of Cyclopses in your village, and I go, I mean, we have Cyclopses, and they go, oh! Over there. They just move over there. That's so weird.
I love it. I don't care. It's so funny.
I know, it's hilarious.
so funny.
So if you take all of our scores and you average them together, 7.4.
That's not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad. Yeah, I'm a fan. I think this is really good. I recommend about every.
Yeah, this thing is, it doesn't overstay its welcome. It plays relatively quick. So even though I was a little miserable toward the end, it plays pretty quick.
wraps up
I
quick.
would play it again.
Right.
Especially to figure out what these guys do. I'm not gonna be like, ugh, that game again.
Yeah,
Right.
it takes slightly longer than Cover Your Assets. Probably there's so much going on.
we did it, what, 5 players?
Oh,
And we also played at 5 players.
I guess I should say too, quick to jump on you. I do agree. I think the ending feels tacked on. And it just because you don't have any choices once the ending procs. It's just okay. Well, I have
to
okay.
do
Well,
this.
there's
I
a
have to do
end
that.
thing showing. I'll try to steal it because it's all I can do. So I would just call the game when the deck runs out.
Sure.
Run the deck out, and then everybody finishes to the
one
first
more
player
round or
and then
whatever.
that's it.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
that would make more sense.
I would try that. I think it will take away that
A little bit of
randomness at the
swing.
end.
Sure,
of the game.
that's valid. That is
Yeah.
valid.
Just worth a shot. I think. But
And
anyway.
again, this game is so light that like
Sure.
little house rules and whatever. If it makes it if
better
it
experience.
makes it a better experience for everybody, well then
Yeah.
And then if you lose, you go, well, you guys didn't play right anyway. Your victory has an asterisk.
Had we played by the actual rules, I had a won.
Right, like Patrick would say, you put an asterisk on this. On this one. But no, I mean, all joking aside, this is a really fun, lighthearted game. It's worth cracking open just for the artwork and the flavor text and everything on the cards,
Fantastic.
right? So yeah, it's super funny. So another really good game from Grandpa Beck's. Thank you. Please keep making games. I love your stuff. So anyways, I guess that's it, right?
Yeah.
So for the board game rundown, I've been Tim.
I've been Bob.
I've been Spencer.
I was Dan.
We'll see you next time.
Thanks for checking out the Board Game Rundown. If you like what you saw, like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Share our videos on social media and spread the word. We publish new content weekly, including reviews, unboxing, and Let's Plays. And as always, thanks for watching.